I am just going to tell you I am not the biggest Beatles fan, so let's go ahead and see those comments ready. Yesterday. This movie is directed by Danny Boyle, stars himself Patel, I can't say his name right, and Lily James, and basically the storyline is Patel is basically, he's a great musician, but he's not hitting it, he's not getting famous, so he basically gives up. The night he gives up, the whole world, the lights just go out, and when that happens, he gets hit by a bus, he wakes up, and guess what? No one even knows exist of the Beatles, and so now he is going to recreate their music, so he become a famous musician, and he takes their music, and Lily James is on the ride, and it's a Danny Boyle film, and now we're here. I'll say this, if you saw my most anticipated earlier this month, this was my number 3, because the trailer was awesome. I mean, it just gave you that energy, it looked good, it looked original, it looked funny, and you were excited to see it. It's like, I like that stuff, but for me personally, like I said, I wanted to see it because of that one trailer. Even though I'm not the biggest Beatles fans, Beatles songs, like the only one I know is Hey Jude because it's everywhere. And what's the song with the guitar and the singing of the summer, and see, I can't even tell you that. Like, this just proves to you I am not a Beatles fan. I know Paul McCartney is one of them. That's it. Like, I'm not a Beatles fan. So going to the movie, I knew it was a Beatles movie, or basically Beatles storyline. So I was going in just like, all right, Beatles. You know, I've heard the music, but I could tell you nothing about them. So what do I think of this movie? Well, if you're a Beatles fan, I think you should see it. If you're definitely not, then I would skip it. I personally thought this movie was a mess, just me personally, and I'm extremely disappointed because that trailer, I mean, it was a good trailer. It got you like, I want to see that. It looks like a fun, good time, good romance, whatever. And I'll say this, I'll start with the pause. First things first, the acting all around is awesome. I mean, himself, Patel, I can't say his name right, but he's the main lead in this movie. He's awesome. He is awesome. He's a great lead. You care for him, even though at times you're like, you're kind of a douchebag for stealing songs, but we get why you're doing it. But he is really good in this movie, and Lily James steals the entire show, hands down. She is the reason I watch the movie. She is the best performance, in my opinion. She steals the entire show. She is so likable in this movie, and she is so sweet, and her chemistry between him and her is the reason this is this movie. Their love story is great. It is the best thing about this movie. Yes, the Beatles and everything, but if you watch it, that love story is the best thing, hands down. I almost wish the whole Beatles storyline didn't even happen. I wish it was like his own musician, he was making his own music, and he was on his own ride with this character and them two relationship. The movie would have been so much better, but they have to add in this whole Beatles thing, and at first I was digging it because the first thing I said in the trailer was like, okay, if this happened, like, my favorite artist is Post Malone, and if, let's say, he disappeared and I knew his music, I can't tell you word by word to his music. I can probably get the main chorus out, but I can't tell you each and every single word. So in this movie, I was like, I wonder how they're going to do that, and they totally explain how that happens. I was like, neat. I like that. I like how he figures out the word, because he does struggle. He's like, what's the word? He's trying to figure it out, which I really enjoyed, those small little details. And there's also, I'm not going to spoil it, but I will say the Beatles is not the only thing that disappeared. What other things disappeared too, all those jokes landed, and they were all super funny. And the jokes, for the most part, I chuckled at. There was no, like, gut-busting moment or nothing like that. I never bust out laughing. I just chuckled and smiled at certain scenes, especially Lily James and all that kind of stuff. But, like I said, this is directed by Danny Boyle, and if you've ever seen a Danny Boyle film, you know Crooked Cameras is coming out. You know weird images are happening of characters walking around and like going into like a fake world or something like that happens, and it's all to this movie. And I say the Danny Boyle style is very unique. It works so well in 127 Hours, Train Spotting, Steve Jobs. Those movies worked really well because they had stronger writing. This movie, some of the dialogue was really bad. Besides Lily James and the Hims Patel, Kate McKinnon, she was a cartoon in this movie. Everyone else felt real. Most of them, she was a cartoon. She was in the wrong movie. And there are so many scenes that happened, when it was over, I was like, what was the purpose of that? I went with a friend who was a Beatles fan, and she even agreed with me. There are scenes that just, you don't get. Like, what was the purpose of that? And, like I said, she was a Beatles fan. There were so many things that she liked. She was humming the tunes throughout the entire movie. Me, though, I didn't get any of these little Easter eggs. I didn't get any of the music titles. I was extremely confused. But for the most part, I was enjoying what I was seeing. But Danny Boyle's style and the dialogue and stuff, it just didn't match well. And I know that some of the British comedy is not the best thing in the world. It's a lot of dry humor. This movie, again, had those moments, but overall, it's just a mess of a movie. There are scenes that just don't make sense. There's so much extra scenes that just need to be there. Ed Sheeran's in this movie, and he's not the greatest actor. We saw that in Game of Thrones. He had one good scene in this movie. It's a competition scene. It's the best scene in the movie between music positions and stuff in this movie. Ed Sheeran and him have like a little competition. It's the best scene Ed Sheeran's ever acted in his whole career. But overall, I thought the movie was a mess. The only reason to see it is Lily James and his chemistry. Besides that, Danny Boyle, I know this is like a dream project for you, but I don't think you were the right director for this story. I'm sorry, and that's so hard to say because I do like Steve Jobs a lot, and I really, really like 127 Hours. I'm gonna give Yesterday a C-. Hate me in the comments if you do. I know you're like, you're not a Beatles fan, you don't get the movie. You're probably right. Like, you really are probably right. Some people are going to go into this movie, they're going to love it because they're huge Beatles fans. But you know what? I hope you enjoy it. And like I said, it does have a good romance story. I just wish that was the main focus. I didn't need this Beatles storyline. I did not at all. Anyway, guys, if you guys enjoy this review, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.